This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Health officials are confirming a case of the measles in Wisconsin. The person lives in Dane County and works in Rock County. The Department of Health Services says the measles has been rare in Wisconsin due to high vaccination rates, but measles is highly contagious and can cause serious health problems for people who are not vaccinated. Health officials are reassuring people that pasteurized milk from Wisconsin is safe to drink. Dairy cows in other states have come down with the bird flu in recent weeks, but so far there are no reports of bird flu in Wisconsin. In the meantime, dairy farmers are urged to be on the lookout and let health officials know if they have any sick animals. The most conservative U.S. House Republicans may try to remove Speaker Mike Johnson from his post this week. Wisconsin's Brian Steil is against the idea.
It'd be a distraction. What we need to be focused on is the issues of the day. It'd be disappointing if any of my colleagues bring that forward, and hopefully we can keep Speaker Johnson in his job.
Steil speaking with WISN TV's Up Front. The Republicans' right wing is unhappy with Johnson over the foreign aid package that passed last week. The Republican National Committee wants protesters farther away from the party's national convention in Milwaukee. A lawyer for the committee tells the Secret Service that Père Marquette Park would be problematic. City leaders won't confirm that's where the designated protest area will be. Protest organizers want to be closer to the convention's perimeter. State School Superintendent Jill Underly says her agency can't implement Wisconsin's new literacy programs until lawmakers approve funding for them. Republican legislators are claiming in court the state can't spend $50 million for new reading initiatives because of a partial veto by Governor Evers. Emergency room doctors say they're worried about their ability to care for pregnant patients who need abortions out of medical necessity. Dr. Polly Wiltz is an emergency medicine resident.
We are putting ourselves at risk for allowing people who do not have medical training to pick and choose which procedures can and cannot be applied in the emergency department.
The U.S. Supreme Court will decide whether patients have access to emergency room abortions in states that have banned abortions. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Homegrown Music Festival is underway in Duluth. According to a Northern News Now report, the festival kicked off on Sunday with various shows around the area. The 8-day festival will feature over 160 musical acts, giving Duluth residents a great opportunity to celebrate their local artists in their own communities. Sunday's show even included a special children's showcase at the Depot. A full schedule for the festival showing who is playing and where they're playing can be found on the Duluth Homegrown website. College of St. Scholastica students have planned a sit-in protest for Monday in protest of the school's decision to dissolve its theater program. According to a Fox 21 report, the school announced on Friday it would be shutting down its theater program, which has run at the school since the 1970s. College officials cited the challenging higher education environment and also let 2 professors and student workers go from their positions. The student protest will involve a sit-in at the school today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Duluth Community Education has received grant funding to study how safe the streets around the area's schools are for young pedestrians. Through the Safe Route Grant Program, the organization will be able to hire a full-time employee to study the areas around the schools to find out which routes are already safe and which routes need improvements. The goal is to create safer routes for students who walk or bike to school, like reconstructing sidewalks. The organization plans to make the hire this summer. City of Duluth officials have shared an update on the Brighton Beach reconstruction project. According to a WDIO report, Duluth Parks and Recreation officials say the reconstruction project is expected to wrap up by the end of 2024. The city undertook the project after years of changes at the beach caused by erosion to the lakeshore. In addition to protecting the shore, the city is also adding new amenities like benches, picnic tables, and restrooms. Road construction around the beach is also expected to begin soon. The University of Wisconsin-Superior officially broke ground on its new stadium on Thursday. Construction on the Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium has been delayed for about a year, leading to an additional $2 million price tag on the over $7 million project. The field will be made with artificial turf so the soccer and lacrosse teams can use it longer into the season, and will also have a 9-lane track. Officials expect that construction should last through the summer, and the stadium should be open in September. Duluth Mayor Roger Reinert delivered his first State of the City address on Thursday, mainly focusing on housing issues the city is facing. During the speech, Mayor Reinert announced there would be no property tax increases in Duluth in 2025 and called for more single-family homes to be built in the downtown area. The city and private partners are hoping to add more than 1,000 new residents to the downtown area, along with more retail locations. The speech also covered commercial tax, streets, and utilities. Construction work will cause single-lane closures along I-35 this week. According to the Minnesota Department of Transportation, the closures will occur on Monday and Tuesday this week. On Monday, I-35 southbound between Garfield Avenue and 27th West will be reduced to one lane between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. On Tuesday, the same stretch of road will be reduced to one lane on the northbound side between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Commuters should plan their routes accordingly, and traffic data will be available on the DOT website. The Boys and Girls Club of the Northland has unveiled its new esports gaming room at its Lincoln Park facility. According to a Northern News Now report, the lounge includes monitors, gaming consoles, and a variety of games for the kids to enjoy. Officials say gaming will give the kids an opportunity to improve their critical thinking, fine motor skills, and problem-solving abilities. The club will also be competing in esports against other clubs and some schools, giving the kids an opportunity to be part of a team. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
It's the Brewers and the Rays tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers host the Rays at AmFam Field. Milwaukee coming off a 15-5 loss yesterday to New York. The Yankees' 6'7" Aaron Judge sliding into second, using his big hand to block shortstop Willy Adames' throw to first, but not called for interference. Pat Murphy.
In the judgment of the umpire, there was not interference intentionally. I think after they watch it on video, if you guys watched it, replayed it, it's hard to say that he wasn't making an attempt to at least purposely obstruct. I don't think he wanted to get hit by the ball, but I think he was trying to purposely obstruct.
NBA, no Dame, no Giannis, and then no Bobby Portis after he was ejected. The Bucks losing last night in Indy, 126-113, now down 3-1 to the Pacers.
This is a great group to coach, I'm telling you. I know we have a lot of stuff going on, just clutter, injuries. But man, I'm loving this team every second that I'm with them. And today is another example of that.
Game 5 tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum. The Packers adding 11 new players in the NFL draft.
It's a long process that starts, in the middle of the summer for our guys. And to get to the end of it and feel really good about helping your football team is a really good feeling. And so I'm very, very appreciative of everyone's efforts. And again, I think we had a really good opportunity in front of us as we started on Thursday, and sitting here right now, I feel like we did a lot of good things for our football team, so we're excited about that.
That's Packers GM Brian Gutekunst with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein's 2020 convictions for sexual assault and rape have been overturned in New York State. The New York Times reports that Weinstein's lawyer claims that he did not receive a fair trial. The Miramax founder was sentenced to 23 years in prison after being convicted in February of 2020. Weinstein, however, is not going anywhere since he was also convicted for sex crimes in California and will remain in prison. An Oregon woman is $1 million richer after remembering she stashed a lottery ticket in a Tupperware container. People.com reports that 52-year-old Leslie Carr said she wouldn't have remembered at all if she hadn't heard an announcement about a $1 billion Powerball winner on TV, saying, "I would have totally forgot since we never check our tickets." You have a small enough chance to win the lottery as it is, but even less of a chance if you don't check your tickets, folks. Carr says she and her husband will pay off their house and buy tickets to Hawaii. I hope they're electronic. If you're making weekend plans and are in Northeast Wisconsin or don't mind a short road trip, check out An Evening with John McGivern Friday night, April 26th at the Ashwaubenon Performing Arts Center. The host of Main Streets on PBS and former host of Around the Corner tells funny stories about his life growing up in Milwaukee in a big Irish Catholic family and his prolific show business career. Tickets can be purchased at TicketStarOnline.com. Quick fashion tip: if you appear on a podcast, don't go commando, especially if you're wearing baggy shorts. Travis Kelce and comedian Andrew Santino recently discussed Kelce's appearance on Santino's podcast a few years ago, where Kelce was literally hanging out. Santino and his editor decided not to reshoot, but just put a big Kansas City Chiefs logo over Kelce's ballular area. That's a medical term. Look it up. Kelsey laughed as he recalled the incident, saying he had no idea at the time. Yeah, sure. If you're looking for something to watch this weekend and no new films or TV shows grab your attention, why not go retro? The 1979 classic Alien is opening again this weekend. The release is to celebrate the film's 45th anniversary. Alien was directed by Ridley Scott and stars Sigourney Weaver, Veronica Cartwright, Tom Skerritt, and John Hurt. If you're lucky enough to live near a theater showing Alien, you will also be treated to an interview with director Ridley Scott before the showing of the film. Kathy Lee Gifford spoke to Entertainment Tonight this week about her new book titled I Want to Matter. Your life is too short and too precious to waste. Gifford said she finally found forgiveness for her late husband Frank Gifford's affair with a flight attendant. To be clear, the affair happened before Frank passed away. I love the way tabloids choose their words. Kathy Lee is an accomplished host and author and creator of Kathy Lee Casuals, which do not offer menswear. So rude. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cloudy with a few off and on sprinkles today. Our high 55 this afternoon. The wind out of the south becoming west at 10 to 20. Tonight, clearing, becoming partly cloudy after midnight. Our low 39 tomorrow. Sunshine, late day and nighttime thunderstorms. Our high tomorrow, 71. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 41.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.